2014, the first state title in 54 years at Jesuit. He previously served as the head coach at his alma mater, Brother Martin. Jesuit down St. Paul's 17-14 this past Friday night, and they traveled to Escambia, Florida, Friday night in the Pensacola area. Please give a warm Ready to Roll on Sports Foundation Quarterback Club welcome to Coach Mark Songy of the Jesuit League.
I didn't think I was next. That caught me off guard. Went from the Saints to us. Anyway, guys, I thought what I'd do is comment a little bit on our season so far. It's been a little bit up and down. We scrimmaged McDonough 35 a few weeks ago and did not have a very good outing there. And next week grew up kind of quickly. Started to grow up a little bit against Hahnville. We were able to go down there in the Jamboree, put 17 points up, and play some great defense. And the next week we faced Warren Easton and end up losing by 5 points against what I think is one of the toughest teams in 4A for sure. Then this past weekend we played St. Paul's. I believe they were about the number 6th or 7th ranked team in the area, and we were able to win 17-14. So we're kind of up and down. We've got a very young football team compared to what we had a year ago. Not a lot of experience coming back. And you know what I say all the time is one of the great things about coaching high school football is watching young kids grow up and become good football players. And then one of the worst things about coaching high school football is watching young kids grow up and become better football players, because it is a time-intensive process. And we're struggling with some things right now where we're making a load of mistakes. And you know, we're kind of beating ourselves. We had a chance to beat Warren Easton there early, and again, a real fine football team, and almost gave it away this weekend with some penalties, some turnovers, and just doing some stupid things with the football down in the red area. But we got better. We got the win under our belt. We go to Escambia this week. They're 3-0. They've got one of the best football players I've seen in a long time. A kid that looks like Skylar Green, actually, if you remember him. Swivel hips. We've got to tackle him, so we're going to put about 5 guys on him and take our chances with the other 6. And but we've got to get him on the ground. Tremendous football player, plays all over the place. They're a talented football team and very well coached at that. So we go to the Pensacola area. We've got a pretty good following with our alums down there. Last year we went and played Pensacola High School, and this year so we're going to play Escambia. They'll come here next year. You know, we are waiting for our guys to grow up, and Tim Levy and I were talking a little bit earlier, and he said, well, unfortunately, some of us never grow up, and man, I never kind of looked at it like that, but I'm a 51-year-old child, quite honestly, and so if they're waiting on me to provide leadership with growing up, I think we're going to have a heck of a long year. Remainder of our season, we start district next week against St. Augustine. After that, I couldn't tell you who it is. We really try to take one game at a time, which reminds me of something that the most often asked question I get from members of the media is, how have you guys gotten over a year ago? Or are you still hanging around thinking about the state championship trophy and all that kind of stuff? And quite honestly, we've moved past that. We moved past it pretty quickly. One of our, I guess, approaches to playing football at Jesuit and is that we approach things from a week-to-week basis. I don't believe any one opponent is more important than another, and I think our kids do that same thing. So we've moved on from there. And I just know that it's St. Aug next week because I've got to trade film with them and I need to call them tomorrow. Other than that, I really don't know what else fits into the schedule and where. I do know we play Franklinton late in the year. I think it's week 9, and they're loaded. So looking at our schedule, take the Catholic League out of it, and you've got Warren Easton, St. Paul's, Escambia, and Franklinton. It's funny, nobody wanted to play us after last year. You mentioned on the phone, which I tried to keep a secret with guys from out of state. They said, oh, you guys had a great year last year. You won a state championship. Yeah, we did. We were fortunate, you know, playing it down, the whole thing. And a guy in Florida, I won't mention the school, but he says, yeah, who'd you guys beat? And I said, John Curtis. I kind of whispered it. He said, oh, yeah, John Curtis. He said, Coach, I'm going to have to call you back. Now, we had this deal almost lined up. I hadn't heard from him yet. So, a couple of players of note I wanted to mention. We've got some returning starters. One of the best receivers, I think, in Louisiana, a guy by the name of Kalijah Lipscomb, had 2 touchdowns in the state game last year. and also over 1,000 yards. He's a big-time playmaker. He's got some colleges on him. I think he's an SEC-type receiver. Jakari Wiley, one of our cornerbacks, who also returns kicks for us. A guy by the name of Zach Robert, who's a defensive end, started off 14 games for us last year and was a big defensive playmaker for us. Cameron Crozier, young linebacker who's only a junior right now, but did play a lot last year. Has been impressive so far. Safety Mark Beebe, all 14 games again for, 12 games for us last year. And he's something else in our secondary, like him a lot. Another receiver by the name of Malachi Hall, who's kind of our secondary receiver, but can do some nice things out there. Two newcomers, Peter Hannes, you guys might recognize that name, that's Rock's son. He's our quarterback, and we had a running back really show some special stuff last week. His name is Connor Pruitt. He's a junior, carried 31 times for 258 yards against a pretty tough defense. Defense that held Carr to 6 points the week before. So I've been impressed with the way we're approaching ball games and how hard we're working and fighting. I saw a lot of fight for 48 minutes the last 2 weeks. We just need to clean up the stupidity and kind of move on from there. So can I answer any questions? Nothing about draft picks, but I'm teasing. We don't draft anybody. So. Anybody? What's up, Johnny? I'm good, man.
Not to Reverend the past, but I could never get an answer. Did you this year's quarterback get a
Yes, he did. He asked about Trey LaForge. Trey walked on at LSU and made the roster. He's not traveling, but I don't know where he is on the roster. But I'll tell you this: I think he's going to end up playing one day. You know, he's just a big, strong freshman. Got a nice arm. He's going to get some coaching. I know Coach Cameron likes him a lot, and I'm betting on him. I think he's going to play one day. It's not going to be real soon, obviously, but I think he's going to play one day. Anybody else? Thank you all very much.